Hey everyone, today we are going to review the differences between the Eastern, Western, and Southern Caribbean and talk about which one is best for you for a cruise. Right after this. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, we are a small travel agency. Our only goal here is to give you some amazing information on cruising and cruise travel. If that sounds good, please hit the subscribe button. Trying to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, which would be amazing. So today we're going to talk all about the different Caribbean islands and the different routes your cruises can take and which one might be the best one for you. So when we talk about cruises, there are basically three types of itineraries to the Caribbean we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Eastern Caribbean, the Western Caribbean, and the Southern Caribbean. Now, some people may talk to you about the Bahamas. The Bahamas are not part of the Caribbean. However, you might go to the Bahamas as part of your Caribbean cruise. You may go to Bermuda and or Bahamas if you're doing a long cruise. Bermuda also not in the Caribbean. Bermuda is 600 miles east of South Carolina, North Carolina area there. So straight across in the middle of the Atlantic. Bahamas just a little bit below, and then anything below Cuba-ish there is going to be the Caribbean. So let's first talk about the Western Caribbean. Western and Eastern are going to be the more common cruises. Southern, a little less common, also a little further. So that's going to give you more sea days as well. So when we talk about the Western Caribbean, generally you're going to leave out of the southeast part of the United States. So you're going to be leaving out of Port Canaveral, Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale, Miami. You may even leave out of Texas. You might leave out of New Orleans, Alabama, and you may even jump on one of those islands down there and sail out of like San Juan, Puerto Rico. But for the Western Caribbean, we're talking about Cozumel, Mexico, Costa Maya, Honduras, Belize, Grand Cayman, and Jamaica. Those are your popular Western Caribbean ports. What do you get out of a Western Caribbean cruise? You're going to dig into more culture. So you're going to see more islands that are more kind of less built up than some of the other islands. And you're going to see more historic things like the Mayan ruins. You're going to see a ton of culture in Jamaica. You're going to see there are two ports in Jamaica. You have Falmouth and Ocho Rios are the two biggest ports. Honduras and all those aren't as built up. So you're going to get out into those islands and you're going to see different things. You're going to experience culture. It's less about just jumping off, going to like a beautiful beach, and more about actually digging into some adventurous thing or some type of historical or cultural things. Not to say that there aren't beautiful beaches in the Western Caribbean. You could certainly find beautiful beaches. You could find quiet, relaxing things to do. But those are the stops that are going to be a little more cultural. They're also the stops a lot of first-time cruisers do. A lot of first-time cruisers will jump on a Western Caribbean. They're super popular. You're going to have a few sea days to relax on the ship and enjoy yourself. So there you have it. Let's talk about the Eastern Caribbean. Eastern Caribbean, very popular. It's going to be St. Thomas, St. Martin, British Virgin Islands like Tortola. You're going to have Haiti and the Dominican Republic in there. Grand Turk is going to be one of those. So what do you get with the Eastern Caribbean? You are going to get a lot of shopping. Again, you're going to leave out of Florida. You're going to leave out of any of those. You can leave out of San Juan for those. But what you're going to really get there is your built up cruise ports, especially the cruise port areas. Very built up, lots of shopping, especially St. Thomas, St. Martin. St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Island. St. Martin is Dutch and French. A little less on the culture. You're still going to have, obviously, all of these different places are going to have everything. But it's going to be a much more relaxing beach day. St. Martin also has the airport beach, which is Maho Beach, which is where the airplanes come in. The giant, like 747s. A lot more resorty type islands in the Eastern Caribbean. Again, if you're in Haiti or Dominican Republic, you can always find amazing cultural things to do. You're going to see beautiful churches, all those different things. But primarily, it's going to be a little more built up and what I call a little more kind of port focused and shopping focused. You're going to see all your Diamonds International, your FV Jewelers, your get off and buy things in the Caribbean. So again, if you enjoy that peace, rest, relaxation, you're going to hit the Eastern Caribbean. If you enjoy that more adventurous cultural, you're going to hit the Western Caribbean. And then we have the Southern Caribbean, which is going to be Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. Those are the ABC islands that you hear about all the time. Antigua, Martinique, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Kitts, Guadalupe, Barbados, all those. You can get to those if you leave out of Florida, if you leave out of San Juan. Now, in these, you're going to get a nice mix of everything, but mostly you're going to get really beautiful beaches, really beautiful, pristine islands where you're going to get off. You're going to go to these great food spots, beautiful beaches, great relaxation, wonderful weather. Aruba out of the hurricane belt, so it's basically 80 and sunny every single day of the year there. I think they get like less than 20 days of rain per year there. It is expensive in the Southern Caribbean. It's going to be your more expensive cruise option, especially leaving out of San Juan if you're going to spend the night there and then cruise out. But those islands are going to be really, really beautiful. You're going to get a nice mix of different things to do. You can certainly, again, find tons of shopping in the Southern Caribbean, tons of beaches, tons of culture, but primarily it's going to be beautiful beaches. Eastern's going to be rest, relaxation, shopping. Western's going to be adventure and culture. Those are the three types of Caribbean cruises. Again, you're going to combine some of those with Bahamas. You may even combine some of those with Bermuda if you do a long cruise, like a 10 or 14 day cruise. You can kind of see a bunch of different things. And you can always jump on those as a repositioning too, where you're going to see a little of the Caribbean and then maybe head through the Panama Canal down to South America, maybe Colombia, those type of things. But on your 7-day cruises, you're going to hit basically either Western, Eastern, or Southern Caribbean. What you love to do is going to be completely up to you. I know some people that love the Western Caribbean. I particularly don't care for the Eastern Caribbean. Obviously I go everywhere a lot, but if I have my choice, I'm going Southern or Western. And right now there's a little bit of strife in Jamaica that makes it maybe not super safe to get off in certain ports. So you always want to be careful and look around and see your environment, see where you're going and make sure things are safe. But as a general rule, if you're doing excursions by the cruise line, you're fine for the most part. But just like everywhere else, even in America or wherever you decide to go, Europe, you have to mind your P's and Q's. You have to be aware of your surroundings, do some research, make sure you know things are safe. And that is it for today. What is your favorite Caribbean route? Do you prefer Western, Eastern, or Southern? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. We will see everybody tomorrow.